Welcome to Pull a Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
Oh, we promise you, we're going to give them to you anyway.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Nate. And let's pull the pin already.
And I have no idea why the intro just started again. I hope
And that's what it went off. I was like, let's go live. And then it came back on. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to talk over it. If it works, it works.
Well, hopefully we didn't mess that up. But if not, I'm Jim. And that's Nate.
And we're going to pull the pin already.
Yeah, we're going to give you opinions you don't want anyway. So that's what we're going to do. And we come here to give you opinions on headlines that we find in the mainstream media, quote unquote, because mainstream media is dying. But we're gonna tell you how to feel and think about things and get angry about what to do. And well, we're not gonna really give solutions because we're never really good at that. But we're just gonna tell you how to react, and you can go about your day with that. And why is it important that we tell them, Nate?
You know, we're average veterans. We've been around the world and we know everything.
Yeah. So just listen to us. Actually, no, because aren't we supposed to give all those disclaimers that we're not giving financial or medical advice? All that's none of our advice is anything but an opinion. So you do what you want to do.
Yeah, it's our opinion. My opinion's always right for me.
Yeah. So. If it turns out right, which probably will, then you'll be like, oh, wow, I should have done something. But if not, then whatever. But anyway, Nate, welcome back again. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Another exciting morning.
Friday.
Another cup of coffee. I love my coffee. You know what I mean? I'm to the point where coffee is just it's like we've been doing it for years. You know how these people have these therapy
Drink
dogs?
Water.
What do they call the therapy dogs? What do they call them things?
Therapy dogs.
No. Isn't there another name for them?
Yeah.
It's not the service dog.
Not the service ones. Yeah. The fake
emotional support dog.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's what I have an emotional support cup here, and it's always got coffee in it. So, yeah. Don't say fake, man, because there's somebody in our circle, our smaller circle here that that has one. But either way, whatever, you do you. We're going to talk about some headlines, and Nate just disappeared again. Nate, I don't know if it's my internet. It's not my internet. It's your internet, Nate. You need to get off the dial-up. But we're going to talk about some headlines, and hopefully Nate will stay in the conversation long enough.
That's the terrorist attacks are happening on my lines right now.
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, why don't we just go get started then before you disappear again?
Let's do it.
All right. Dr. Phil chimes in on Biden refusing to take a cognitive test. People that have nothing to hide nothing.
And I remember seeing people say, the cognitive test, all that shows is this, and this. Even a third grader can pass it. All right, then, so why aren't people taking it?
Right. In all honesty, like, don't they have to go, aren't there big court trials to prove this stuff? Like, if someone is cognitively capable of committing a crime, isn't there a whole, purpose for all this? I think everybody should have to take one all the time, right? When you get in your car, there should be a puzzle. You ever see some of those phone alarms where you wake up and you have to solve something?
No.
Yeah, they got these you probably got to pay for them. That's why I don't have one. But I've seen them where you got to wake up and you got to solve a math equation or something just to make sure you're awake. It's ingenious. It's beautiful. I love it. Or you got to do a puzzle thing or whatever. So you don't have to be intelligent to do some of this cognitive stuff. But that should be the sample. Well, I guess putting your pants on is a cognitive test, isn't it?
Okay.
If you don't put them on right, that could be like, hey, dude, there's something wrong with you. But then again, you can't go full blown, because if sometimes you forget to zip the fly, yeah, that could be an oversight. That doesn't necessarily have to be a cognitive problem. But yeah, Dr. Phil's been killing it lately. I think he's been talking about a lot of stuff. And I think he did it on our favorite show we talked about last episode, The View. He went on The View and obliterated those ladies. With Biden and his, yeah, he was talking about Biden, his sex or child trafficking. Proven child trafficking. Because they're even saying these kids are coming across the border with names and numbers and addresses written on them.
Who are they going to?
Yeah, and then the people are calling these, and he said there's a very high chance that these are prostitution rings and stuff. They're literally trafficking children, and nobody's up in arms about that. Everybody's like, "Oh, they're citizens too." Yeah, because we need more trafficked people from out of country. It's just so sickening. It's so sickening that these people support this stuff because they're so stupid and naive. You know what I mean? They're just so naive. They look at the general, almost like we're looking at a headline and we're telling you how to feel about it. They look at a general topic and they just put their input as if it's like the way it happens, the way it works. It's not, dude. Any child coming across the southern border, think about this. You're a parent. Would you send your child across the border on their own? Especially a border where you know is controlled by, these criminals in Mexico? Would you send your kid across?
No, but my
Hello?
my life is not that bad that I need to send my kids out of my own country.
Well,
So
okay,
I
give me a
can't.
scenario. Give me a scenario where it would be that bad, where you would send your kid out.
I don't live in those situations, so I can't.
I don't care. Make one up if you have to.
No, if people are
There is no
killing,
chance.
if people are killing your family members because you don't agree with their views, and your
And you'd
kids
send
next
your
on the
child
chopping,
alone,
and my kids next on chopping block,
and you'd
and they
send your kid alone.
if they had well, their
No,
thing is they
even
have
even slave
family
time.
and
No, even slave time. There were people working the underground railroads. They were not sending people alone because they could be walking right into another trap. I would never send my kid alone. I'd find another adult I trusted. I'd find some way, unless I was literally dying and I died and I had to throw my kid somewhere, maybe. But you can't tell me that's what the majority of these people are.
probably not.
That's what I'm saying is like it just there's very few circumstances where I can even imagine sending my kid to a foreign country by themselves knowing they're going to go through hell to get there. That's worse than the problem you're leaving. I'd rather take my kid and run away to a wooded area and build my own little camp. You know what I mean? I'd rather try to survive the means I can by protecting my
I'm
family.
a survivor. I'm
I
gonna
will
make. Oh,
survive. I
all right.
know how to get it. Okay, never mind.
We
All
survived
right,
this
let's move
tonight.
on.
Let's
Yeah,
move on.
go Dr. Phil. All right, here's another douchebag. Mayorkas blames Congress for him not doing his job.
You gotta blame
Not,
somebody. You can't take
not,
responsibility for your.
yeah,
I kind of agree with that though. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to do his job, but
yeah. Well, look at the
people
border. Is
don't.
he doing his job?
Well,
Does he look like he's trying?
Congress doesn't want him to do his job down there.
That's the excuse, right? But they have laws already that they're not doing. You just said it in the last one about Texas and that. If the federals would just do the job they're supposed to do, then we wouldn't have this problem. But Mayorkas is a douchebag. Have you ever watched him? You know what's funny too? Let's get off Mayorkas for a second. Have you ever noticed these people that are on the side of, you know, what I would call the evil side? They all look like villains. Pelosi and Schumer, and they all look like villains. You know what I mean? So I think there's something to do with the DNA and the look. So go check your kids, check your family, make sure if they look like a villain, there's chances are they're going to be a villain. Um. So anyway, yeah, Mayorkas is a douchebag. I'm not even gonna bother with this guy. We can go to the next one.
Okay,
He's a
moving on.
douchebag. It's accountability again. Same thing. Now this one I don't even know. I like Rihanna. I don't know who Rihanna is, or I've heard of her, but Rihanna blasted for lazy, lackluster show at Indiana billionaire's wedding, despite being paid $6 million. She's a scammer.
Okay,
Quotes.
well,
She's a
I'm,
scammer.
I'm gonna I'm gonna correct you. That says Indian billionaire's wedding, not Indiana.
Oh, good call. Because I couldn't figure out what the hell that meant. Why would there be an Indian billionaire? So that's like an actual Indian person in India?
I don't know if it was in India or if
Well,
it
this
was in
whole
the
thing, we
States,
could
but
let's break this whole thing down. Rihanna, I don't know who Rihanna's some singer, right?
yeah,
I'm sure I've seen her before.
yeah.
Um,
Ask your kid. I'm sure they know. She's pretty
yeah,
popular.
I probably even like some of her music. I just don't
Just don't
know
know who sings it.
right
Yeah,
who she
you hear
is.
that song like, oh, that's what. Oh, I don't know who sung that song. I like that song.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. But
yeah.
I'm bad like that anyway. I got a buddy who always says songs come on the radio. He's like, "Who's this?" I'm like, "John Bon Jovi." He's like, "No." Like, all right, that's about it. But yeah. So this Indian billionaire hires Rihanna and pays her $6 million to perform at his wedding. I don't know if it's his wedding. Is it? It could be somebody else's. I guess it's his wedding. Indian billionaire's wedding. So yeah, so he hires Rihanna for the entertainment at his wedding, pays her $6 million, and he's not happy with her performance.
I'm gonna go hire somebody else then.
I'm just like, there's two ways you can look at this. Not that I want to spend a whole lot of time on this garbage, but two ways you can look at this. Either these people are getting lazy as they get richer. I'm talking about Rihanna, not the billionaire, or this billionaire is confused on what he's paying for. Like, why is this guy complaining? He's a billionaire. Why is he complaining?
Okay,
This is like a Facebook post.
if you hired somebody, okay, so you're not a billionaire, you're a thousandaire, and you hire somebody to do a job for you for a couple $100. They didn't do a good job. You're gonna complain about them, right?
You're a billionaire. Take her to court. Why are
I
you
just
getting online to complain about it?
I just
You're just trying
I
to ruin her
I brought
market?
it I brought it into your thousandaire. You paid a couple
Dude,
hundred. You paid a couple $100 for a product, and the product was not good. Are you gonna complain
the,
about it or no? Or are you
well,
gonna take
listen,
them?
listen, listen,
Are you gonna spend
listen.
your thousands to take the $100 person to court?
I
I
don't
mean,
mind the complaining about it, right? And then let's be fair too. We don't even know where he complained. Somebody probably took this and then took it out further.
very well
Like
could
he
have.
might have just made a silent complaint. But it's just like this. I go on these Facebook sites, and all they are is just, gossip sites anyway. And I listen to these people. Like one guy gets in there and he goes and gives his review of a restaurant, local restaurant he went to, and he does some criticism and he does say, hey, I'm going to give it another chance because the food was good, but I was disappointed in this, this, and this, right? So there are people on there bashing him, and this is what drives me insane about our society. So these people get on there and say, dude, you really don't need to take to social media to complain about this restaurant. You should have done it privately, dealt with the manager at the restaurant. So what's the problem with that, Nate? I'm not going to put you on the spot because it might be embarrassing if you don't see it. The problem with that is you are literally doing the same thing to him. You didn't private message him and say, hey, dude, you probably shouldn't put this on social media. You should probably take it to the source. No, you're literally shaming him on social media in front of everybody, telling him he shouldn't do that. This is how stupid people are. They just don't understand that you're doing the exact same thing you're telling this guy not to do.
He's complaining about it. Maybe he might have
And let him
complained.
complain.
He might have complained about it at the wedding, and somebody took it and ran with it. So
Right, but that's my point. So let him complain. It's
yeah, he did.
information. You like it, you don't like
Yeah,
it. But somebody probably had to come up with something to write about. And you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to write about. Oh, he called Rihanna a scammer? Now there's going to be big litigation and all. It's stupid stuff, man. It's just dumb.
yeah,
It's all dumb. Anyways, this headline's dumb. Let's move to the
yeah.
next one.
You picked it. Moving on.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. This is so much better. This is so much better.
Uh,
Rotting bodies, fake ashes, and sold body parts push Colorado to patch lax funeral home rules.
Good Lord, Colorado.
Do you know why I like this, though? Do you know why I like this headline?
I do not. Why?
I like this headline because this is probably happening in all funeral homes,
You
and
think?
people just don't know about it. I'm sure, dude. I'm sure. Like, how many times have people exhumed a dead body and found the same casket, the jewelry still in the box? Like, how many times that stuff happened? Like, think about it. Who are you dealing with? You're dealing with the dead or their family, and it's just for a moment. You know what I mean? It's stupid. But that's why I like this headline, because I think it opens the eyes of people that are like immune to the stuff that goes on. Like, I get it. You want to believe everything's, unicorns and fairies, and I get it. The world's an ugly place. There's a lot
I
of
could
ugly people in it.
I could understand one of the three things in this. So rotting bodies, well, maybe not. Maybe some people just don't show up to pick up bodies. You know what I mean? So you leave them there for the family members or someone to come find them. But shouldn't they be like be in a freezer or something so they're not rotting? Maybe.
Well, I guess that question comes down to, okay, can I support him? You know what I mean? It's like handling all these illegals. You send a body to my thing and you don't do anything with it. Obviously, you don't care. But somebody's got to pay for it to be cremated or put somewhere, right? And why would you pay for refrigeration? Who are you going to bill
Right.
later on?
Exactly.
But at the end, there should be a process for that. You should be able to turn them over to some government agency because they're really good at handling stuff like this, um, or whatever, because it's affecting your business. But what was the one you were getting at? You said you can understand one of them. The rotten bodies, is that the one?
Rotten bodies. Yeah, because people
The
don't.
fake ashes, I don't get fake ashes. Like what? I mean, I've thought that too because my wife was cremated, and
I
I'm
mean,
like, they give me ashes. Like, how do I know they're hers?
right. I mean, they're not fake ashes. They're real ashes. They're just might not be the ashes you thought you were getting. You know, right? Because
Right,
can you just make ash without burning something? I mean, so they're real ashes. They're just not
right,
maybe
right,
the right ashes.
right. And I sort of get that too. In the end, I mean, like unless because I think the place where my wife was cremated, they did offer us to come in and we wanted to watch. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. So
Holy
I'll just go under.
crap!
Yeah, I'll just go under
Hell
the
no!
assumption that those ashes are hers, and even if they're not, whatever. At the end of the day, she's one with the earth again. It doesn't matter. But yeah, and then sold body parts. Like, why would this surprise you? You know what I mean? Like organ cells and all that stuff is big business. Why would body part
Oh
supplies?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But the point is that this stuff is going on and it's not supposed to be.
Well, I remember they were after the mortuary that the military uses because they were supposedly just getting rid of body parts into the dump.
Right, right.
So if it's happening in the if it's happening in the government, who are we going to turn these bodies over to then, Jim? If they can't even do it right in the government,
Well, that's why
like you just said.
that was sarcasm. You know that, right? Give it
No.
to the government because they can handle this stuff. Yeah, government screws everything up. But I guess at the end of the day, yeah, don't die so you don't have to go to a funeral home. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe research your funeral home. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, funeral homes, I think, used to be part of the mob too. I think they
Really, if you're dead, what's it matter to your body? But
right.
I guess it matters to family members who
Yeah,
might
I mean,
still
there's
like you or
people
want
that
you.
look. There's people that go to great lengths for a dang cat or dog. So I'm assuming a loved one like that, they'll probably. Anyways, it's sickening. It's sad, and we're gonna go ahead and end this episode because yeah, it's Colorado.
Sounds good to me.
So thanks again, Nate, for showing up. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for your likes, shares, subscribes, all that other cool stuff. Send your money. I promise we'll get that website back up somehow. But until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pen ready. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.